Hi guys, we are going to do poems. So I'm going to break it down, start from the beginning, explain what is what, and then we are going on. So it is called poetry. So it is poems that we are going to be handling. Okay, so we are going to start. Poetry. A poem is created by putting words together in an interesting way to express a feeling, create a mental picture, tell a story, or make a sound. So, when you read, you can imagine what it looks like. You can feel how they describe the story. And poetry entertains the ears and the eyes because it sounds so nice when you read it. Your ears are just going cling-a-ling-a-ling. I want to hear what is next. Okay, so it's just words that sounds cool and have a lot of emotions behind it. Okay, so poems can be anywhere. Poems can be found in many places. They are in our reading books and lots of places in and out of school. So it's not always just in school that we use poetry. We can do it while we are sitting at home. Maybe some of us feel sad, some of us are happy. Then you can write it down. You might have a collection of poems in one book, all written by the same author. Author means it's the person who writes the poems. So this book, the Poems for Cheeky Children, is when you have a collection of poems. So we get different parts of poetry. So we get a verse and a stanza. So I'm going to break it up. You are going to see what I mean and how we put it all together. Okay, so a verse usually means a line of poetry, but sometimes means a whole poem as well. So it's not always just to say that if there is one line or two lines that this is the verse. No. If there's no spaces in between the lines, it means this is a verse. So to make sure that there are spaces in between, then we can say it's a stanza or it's only a verse. So, like for instance, this poem, Dust of Snow by Robert Frost. This is only one verse. Can you see that it is underneath each other? There's no spaces in between the lines or in between the sentences. Okay, so it is only called one verse. So let's see how does it sound. The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree has given my heart a chance of mood and saved some part of a day I rued. Okay, so later on we are going to see what is the rhyme and everything. So for now, the verse, you need to see that it is one. There is no spaces in between. And because we have snow, there is your snowflake as well. It can remind you of Frozen. Now we are going to do the stanza. The stanza in a poem is like a paragraph in an essay. So how do we show a paragraph? We leave lines open between them. Good. Each stanza is usually separated by some blank space or you leave a line or two lines open. A common stanza length are 2, 3, 4, 6, or 8 lines. So don't think that if you write a poem or you see a poem that for a stanza it needs to be or needs to have a certain amount of sentences or words to be a stanza. No, it can either be 2 or 8. It doesn't really matter. You need to look for the spaces in between to see if it is a stanza or a verse. How many stanzas does this poem have? So I'm quickly going to read it to you. Dear Seal, you made my day, you made me smile. What can I say? It will take me a while. I loved your voices, they had such expression. You all made great choices, reciting with such perfection. Quite pleased, Grandma Grace. So this is our poem. So we just said that if it is a verse, there is no spaces in between. And a stanza has spaces in between. So how many stanzas do we see? We've got the first one that is out of 4 lines. Our second one also out of 4 lines. So 1 plus 1 equals 2. So that means this poem has 2 stanzas. Very good. Okay, now we are getting to the rhyme part. Repetition of end sounds is called rhyme. My dog chewed up my homework. He slobbered on it too. So now my homework's ripped to shreds and full of slimy goo. Okay, so when we have rhyme words, there is a certain thing that we can do to see if it is rhyming, and that is a rhyme scheme. A rhyme scheme can be determined by marking similar rhyming lines of the poem with the letter of the alphabet. So we know our alphabet A, B, C, D, and you know the rest. Okay. So I'm going to show you the rhyme scheme, what I mean by we add the alphabet letter to it. Okay, so here is a poem by Jack Prelutsky with an ABCB rhyme scheme. Griselda Kratz kept 60 cats. She fed them very well. 1 angel cakes and raisin flakes and corns in a shell. Okay, so that means we have to see which words sound the same at the end. So we know cats and well, no, it doesn't sound the same. So that is why the first one we write A, the second one we write B because it's not the same as the A. Cats and flakes, no, it doesn't really make sense. And well and flakes, also not. So that is why we give it a C. So now we have A, B, C. But do you think well or cats and shell sounds the same? Nuh-uh. And well and shell? Yes. Flakes and shell? No. So we go to the second one. It is well and shell. So what's the letter next to well? It is B. So next to shall, we are also going to write B. That is why it is called the ABCB rhyme scheme. Okay, now it's your turn. Can you identify the rhyme scheme of this poem by Mary O'Neill? Green is the grass and the leaves of trees. Green is the smell of a country breeze. Okay, so let's see if you can figure it out. Grass and trees? No, not really. So it's A and B. Grass and smell? Trees and smell? No. Grass and breeze? No. Trees and breeze? Yes. Smell and breeze? No. So we've also got a B. Good job. So we see that trees and breeze are the same. That is why we give them both a B, because the two words rhyme together. So this time we also have a ABCB rhyme scheme. Thank you guys.